Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Behind the Front Desk. We are sponsored by our good friends at Phaser Marketing. So let's be honest, either you own a small business or you know someone that does. Phaser Marketing offers a one-stop shop marketing team for your business. They stop you from wasting your valuable time trying to learn and juggle the core elements of marketing. If you want to focus more on what you do best, make sure to check out their website at phasermarketing.com. That's PHASER marketing.com and take your business to the next level.
It's that easy. And we're live. Incredible.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Behind the Front Desk with you boys. Ding, Zman, Reno, other nicknames.
The other guy.
Myself include the other guy, the other one. I go by No. I go by Nev. Is there any other one?
That's
the Cheddar.
I do call you the Cheddar when we drop. You
Cheddar.
are Cheddar.
Z-Boy's got Z-Boy, Z-Man.
I think that's it.
The Z-Ster.
They have
Z-Quill.
thrown in their Z baby every once in a while for when I'm like whining or something.
Ding's got Ding. He's got.
That's it.
We used to say ding dong in elementary school.
I don't
like
really
that one.
remember that.
Hold on, a helicopter's flying very close by. I can't hear anything.
Bummer.
And I can hear again. With the screen door open, and I mean, there's probably about a helicopter that flies by every hour or so, and it's so loud.
And then like every 20 minutes is a plane.
Mixed with an airplane, and then about every 25 minutes, there's some sort of emergency vehicle coming peeling by with the loudest lights and sirens
There
ever.
were a lot of that, of the like the emergency vehicles that went by when we were there. We were there for one night, and I've seen more there than I have ever in my life here in Fargo.
Well, that's like what I was thinking about the other day too, is because back when I grew up, I remember when like emergency vehicle went by the house, I remember like my mom like running to the window to like, see it.
I still do that in Fargo.
Yeah. Now
I don't.
You don't.
No, I'll look to see if it's like on the street. It's like, oh, okay, but it's not like I'm like, oh my god, run out into the middle of the street. It's like they're 3 blocks out. It's like I don't care, don't care.
Oh no, I got it. If I'm here, I got to see what's going on. Can I see what's going on? Whereas
well,
that 12-hour period in LA, and I'm like, oh my god, it's been 10 minutes since something happened. Where on earth are these guys?
Obviously, like, the sound of an ambulance like is upsetting because it's like a weird sound. It's very loud and it just makes people anxious, I think. But now I barely notice it anymore because it just happens way too much. Because I see fire trucks come blazing through intersections all the time when you're just sitting at like the stoplight. There'll just be like a parade of fire trucks and ambulances. And
Are there trams there?
I'm sorry, what?
Trams, Trams, like the trains that usually are on like the street. I think they're called trams.
Oh, a trolley? I think,
Not,
or maybe
not
is
a
it
trolley though.
I guess I don't.
There's a few different types.
You mean like the things
But
that
like actual
are in, like San Francisco?
No, because aren't those trolleys?
I think so. That's what I was thinking of, but
No, it's like an actual like train. Like Chicago's got a lot of them.
let me look up a tram. I can't think of what it even
You
looks like.
you look
right
it
now.
up. It's it's got the rails, but it's not like just a normal train.
Oh, I think there is one actually kind of close to our apartment, like a few streets down. I think. Can't confirm. Never saw it, but I saw the tracks.
I was watching a video like an hour ago, and its little title was "Trams drivers don't give a shit."
because they're like in the middle, like instead of like having medians in the roads,
Mhm.
it's just the tram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got people coming this way, people coming this way. The tram's in the middle; it will go back and forth, right? And it showed people would like sit, would, like try to like swerve and try to get ahead of people and cut into, but they could cut into the lane of this trams onto the railings, and trams will just hit them. They don't care, and they'll keep going.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, like, is there like I know my uncle's told me that because he plows snow for the city in the winter, and if he's out there plowing the interstates, if he hits a car, like if a car pulls in front or tries to cut him out or do something, if he hits that car and pushes it into the ditch, he's not liable for anything. It immediately goes onto the driver for whose fault it is. So it makes me wonder too, like with trams, like if they get hit or if they hit someone, is it just like it's 100% on the car's fault no matter what kind of thing?
I would assume so. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't know. Just made me think.
I haven't thought about
Because
it.
I mean, you watch some of the videos that like they were only like just 10-second clips, like they just showed happen, then cut to another one. Like some of those cars were getting some serious like damage done to them. Like that tram's hitting it and that thing's spinning away.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I mean, I would assume that it would have to be on them only because it's like that this is where they're at,
Yeah.
Same thing with the plows. Like here, like yesterday on my way home, what they'll do is they'll plow like a whole bunch of snow from the sides into the middle of the road. So like you can still go on each side. But I literally saw like 4 people, like I would assume they cut the corner too short and got stuck in there, and they were coming, and the people like literally stopped in the plows and just sat there, and you could tell they're like they probably could have really helped them, like literally nudged these people out. They just sat there. It's like, well, I wouldn't give a shit either. It's like they know. You could see the 6-foot high snowdrift. Like they should know. Be careful. Like I just think it would be on them. It'd be odd that it wouldn't be. Like what the fuck's going on? Figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you wouldn't blame like any kind of train, or it's not on the train if someone gets hit by a train. So
yeah,
like a normal one. So I guess it wouldn't be any different for a tram. I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. It's just interesting.
I'm very intrigued. Never even thought about it before.
Watch the videos; they're kind of fun.
Is Z-Boy going to become a tram driver?
Probably good money.
I don't know. I mean, it's weird too because you watch the videos and like the trams, they'll stop after. So it's not like a train where they have to stop and it takes a quarter mile to stop.
Yeah,
it's like a car. They can stop pretty quickly. So.
Oh, well, then that I guess it does make it different.
But see, I still think it might be the same thing though, because it's like things said, they're there, they're going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, it's out of their hands whether they can stop quickly or not.
Well, I think it's just like in New York with like the subway, like if you drop something on the tracks, you either better get down there and grab it quick, or if you get down there a little too slow, like that's on you. I hate to tell you, like it's either you hit the deck, hopefully you don't get smoked, or you get up fast. It's just though, it's like a lot of these aren't. Again, it's a service provided by the state and city. It's like I hate to say it, in a city and state that size, it's very hard to be like, oh, Zach dropped his phone on the ground. Oh, hold up. Let's stop this $6 million train so he can get his $1,000 phone. No, it's like, we're going to run over your phone. Figure it out. That's on you. You shouldn't have dropped your phone. Like that's how a lot of places, unfortunately, have to look. In Fargo, it's a little different. It's, it's a lot less people, still quite a bit, but it's a lot less than 6 million, and you have 190,000 people riding the subways every hour, or whatever ridiculous number it is. it's not as crazy hectic here. So for me, I just think it would be on those people that get in the way of fucking over that shit.
Agreed.
Hey, have you? Because you follow Logan and Jake, right?
Yes.
Have you seen this thing about Logan Paul's Game Boy table?
Oh, it's so cool.
It's so cool, but have you seen how much backlash he's gotten from it?
Oh,
Mhm.
they talked about it on one of the last podcasts and
Yeah,
just
I
getting
think this
roasted
video
for it.
perfectly sums up how much people just want to hate on them.
100%. Because now, go ahead.
No, you go. You sound like you were ready to pop off there.
Well, it's just one of those things of like nothing Logan or Jake Paul do people are gonna ever support because they just they obviously have a big following, but for like the masses and everything, people just hate on them for doing anything.
It's like they're like the Yankees or the Cowboys. Like they're so popular because of how much people hate them at this point.
Yeah, and same with like Floyd Mayweather and all those type of people that they're almost more hated than they're loved, but that's I don't know. But
yeah, because it popped up on Instagram a few days ago showing that he had made this table. My first thought when I saw it was like, oh my God, that thing's sweet. 15 Game Boys, put an epoxy made into a table. How cool is that? And I looked at the description of it was Logan Paul's in deep backlash over this. And I'm like, wait, what do you do? So I read into it and then I saw his video. I don't know how long ago about them responding to it. And he was so right because he's just like, I go on eBay, you'll find them there for $45, $50, and $60.
Yeah.
Okay, this wasn't a short supply thing. These came out years ago for many years. There's 90 million of them out there.
Yeah.
Because people were saying, like, I've been trying for years to get them and I can't find them anywhere. How about you actually look for ones?
I heard. So I saw a video from a guy who helped source a lot of those Game Boys, and he said that the reason why people are so upset is because like he spent like money to like put in LED like screens or like to like upgrade them so that they're like the highest, like the best Game Boys you could have, and that he was like they're not cheap. He's like, I know what was done to them. He goes, like, they're the type of things like people who play Game Boy like religiously spend hundreds of dollars on. Like, he goes, the issue with it is how he did it too. He goes, the epoxy resin is going to eat through everything. He goes, it's just basically like wasting money. He goes, if he would have gotten regular standard ones, didn't do anything up to upgrade them, and did it, it's like, oh, whatever. It's $40-$50.
I don't know if I believe that at all, that epoxy resin is going to eat through this stuff there, because people put epoxy all the time.
Well, no, it just happens. Well, no, it'll get through the cracks in the game and the screen, and it'll ruin them.
Well, like, he's not buying them to put them in epoxy and to make it the table to later break and then play the game.
No, but a lot of people, that's what kind of gets people upset, because it's like there are a lot of people who would spend, the money on that new Game Boy, or the updated one, the refurbished, the really good one, and they're like, he could have just did that with old ones that looked good.
Yeah.
And not
at the same point, though, it's not like those were the only 50. I mean, I'm not saying you're trying to defend the people or anything, but at the same point, if it's going off of that, it's people. I mean, I don't think these are the only 15 Game Boys made just like that. There's, again, same thing of not only were there millions made, there's also thousands that had the same things done to them that were changed to make them look good.
Yeah, I mean, just the only thing that I saw that people actually complained about that I thought was somewhat normal and realistic is the fact they're like, they're more expensive because they're actually like newer, like, you can actually do a lot more, graphics look much better on it, and they're like, the resin just makes it so you couldn't use them if God forbid he wanted to use them later for whatever reason. It's fucking Logan Paul, so I don't know why it's not like he can't not afford them. So I that was the only thing that I saw where I was like, it's like, I understand why he did it, because you have the money to, why would you
Because
not?
it looks sweet.
It is cool looking. I'll give them that. It is very
That
cool.
looks
looking.
awesome.
The only thing is, again, is just apparently he wasted money on 15 somewhat updated Game Boys, and people are pissy about it. So
Yeah,
They're pissy
that's the
'cause
thing
they
that I
wanna be
just don't
pissy.
understand is why people even care that much. Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason to care. It's like, I mean, he made nobody ever understands anybody else's art for the most part. Like, whatever they put value into and stuff, and then now they're just looking for a reason. I guarantee the people that are actually complaining about it don't even want to own a Game Boy. They just are now mad that he wasted
yeah,
15 of them or whatever.
Yeah, and
he
that
did.
was like one of the things he was saying. It was like, I'm seeing comments where like people are saying I've been spending years trying to find one just like this, and why would you do this when people are out there searching for them? And all he says is, well, I went on eBay for a few minutes and found them. So if you're wasting years looking for this, then obviously you're not doing something right.
now
I mean, like,
the only thing I would say about that though is there's a very big difference between a human being like me on eBay looking for something for years and Logan Paul. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me,
yeah,
I could, I'll be quite honest. There's very few things on eBay that if I was looking for, it's like I couldn't drop the money on. There's very few. But to a lot of people,
That sounded so cool.
just the things I look for, like, again, I have a very, very narrowed in, amount of stuff I buy. So it's not like it's wild to say that. But there, people who collect Game Boys, more than likely, it's like I have every single one but this color, and it's made this year. So that's what they look for is this one, and then you have someone like Logan Paul who can come in and drop $4,000 on a Game Boy just to drop it because he can. And here these people are looking for it. It's the only reason why I understand why someone will be kind of pissy. But
I mean, I could see why they're
you know what I'm
pissy,
saying?
but at the same
You know what I'm
time,
saying? Only because
in
like
my mind, I have no sympathy for that person at
Oh,
all. If they here's the deal. If they're looking, if one of these Game Boys was some kind of like special edition with special certain things, and there was only a certain amount made, a lot less than a normal Game Boy, and there's serious collectors that have been looking for this for years. Well, you would think that those special collectors looking for this special item would know roughly how much one of these, if found on the market, is going to go for. So when it is found and they say I couldn't afford it, so I wasn't giving it, so it sucks that you got it and did this to it, I have no sympathy, because if you were that serious, you would know how much you're going to need, how much saved up, and you would have that ready for as soon as you saw it go, it's gone. You got it. I see it there, but I can't do anything because I don't have the money.
No, it's not even that.
Oh, no, you bought it? Well, that's a bummer that you did that to it.
For me, no.
Save your money for it then if you're that serious.
Oh, no, I understand. I understand what you're saying. It's just one of those things with eBay. It's like it could go from, $20 to $2,000, and you have someone like Logan Paul who has enough money to. There's very few people probably right now on eBay who could outbid Logan Paul on something if he really wanted it. That to me, I think, is what most people are probably upset about. It's because it's like, it's Logan Paul. Call someone. You'll be able to find him. It's like, don't go on eBay. Don't cut out the normal human beings from it. It's like, you're a celebrity. You should be able to find them somehow. That's the only thing that I could see.
Like, he shouldn't be looking on eBay since he has his different ways. He should go use those ways.
Oh yeah. I mean,
that's what eBay.
I personally don't care. I personally don't care, but that's what I could see why people are all fired up about.
Because they don't have any other way except for eBay or Craigslist.
Exactly. Yeah.
Case in point, though, if you're that serious, you will have different ways. You will not have one source. Just like money people with millions and billions of dollars, they do not make money one way. They have 10, 12 different sources of making income. If you're that serious a collector, like cards.
Yeah,
I mean,
love cards.
No,
if I'm that serious, I'm not just buying them from one store. There's this store, there's that store, there is this website, that website, this retail. There's different sources. So if I go to here and say, oh, this person bought this one that I wanted, what am I supposed to do now? How could you do that? Because you had more money than me and could afford it. That's my problem.
No, I agree with you, but that is from what I saw. That seems to be the big crux of the issue. Is people are just like, oh, you can afford it. Why did you have to do that to us? Why did you fuck us over? It's like, should have bought him. Should have bought him.
Because he's smart.
Yeah, it's like, that's on you.
Sure.
Like,
Because he did what he could, earned his money, and now can use it in a fun way. Because trust me, if I could just blow like $1,000 on 15 Game Boys and epoxy, knew what I was doing, make a table, absolutely, it'd be fun.
Well, and here's the thing.
It'd be sweet.
Let's just be real. That table right now, you probably spent. Let's just be honest. He spent $1,500 on the table somehow. That table's probably worth what, $25,000 right now.
Oh, he could sell that for a lot of money.
You know what I'm saying? Like the table. A, it's Logan Paul's table he made. B, there's all this hype around it now. It's already overgained what he spent. So to me, it doesn't even make sense. It's like he spent this much, but it's worth way more now because of everything else. It's like I don't understand the problem with it. People are just bitching. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was that one guy he was talking about that was bitching about it and saying that this is the most wasteful like thing why celebrities can like just waste money on things that other people would like and stuff. And he had this whole comment and it got like a lot of traction and whatever, got like 100,000 retweets or something. And then since it got so much traction, this guy who made the post like put at the bottom like a GoFundMe page and stuff for his own artwork and stuff. And it was just it kind of discredits your thing. Yeah. It's like, now that your comment actually got a lot of traction, now you're going to try to get like funding from all these people. It just shows that he was only trying to get, his own
traction
from
the
comment.
His stuff.
Yeah. See, that's
I mean, in a way, you can't blame him either. I mean, if you start getting traction, you got something, but it doesn't look great.
No, it just kind of goes, okay, so that's all you weren't actually that mad about it. You're just wanting to stir the pot and get some attention to your page, which that's what everyone's trying to do, I guess.
That's the one thing on Twitter. If like jokes are flying on Twitter, I'll go look and I'll like see who's like has one of the bigger like tweets about something, and if underneath like follow my shop at this website or retweet my SoundCloud, it's like fuck you, dude. It's like fuck you. Like you're just doing this shit so people could be like, so you can get the 350 people to favorite your SoundCloud because that's the most you're gonna have ever because you have one tweet. It's like fuck you. It's like miss me with that shit. You're just stirring shit so that people follow your shit. It's like you're not serious about it. Like someone did it on I don't even know what it was, but it was something from the NFL and people were like trashing something. And someone did that, and it's like, fuck you, dude. It's like, you don't care. It's like, you don't care anything about this. This is just so someone will buy your shit. And I think it was art, too. And it's like, stop it. It's like, no one's going to buy your trash. If it was that good, you wouldn't have to fake outrage so people notice you. Like, stop it.
Now that we got a segue into the NFL.
No one's going to buy your trash.
Now that we have a segue into the NFL, Ding, do you have more? Are you about to pop off some more?
I say Ding looks like he's ready.
I gotta ask, did you see that Raiders-Chargers game?
I saw some of the the replays.
I watched the ending of it because I was so excited that it might.
I saw did you see the Austin Eckler video of him talking with one of the Raiders guys?
Yeah, where he's like, "Really? Were you actually going to kneel it?"
Yeah, like, there's finds out that they might have actually kneeled.
They were going to kneel it,
and they called the timeout to. Yeah, I feel so bad for Eckler. Well, no, you can't blame him, but I feel so bad for Eckler.
I understand why the Raiders weren't going to just kneel it after that timeout. I understand. Because you'd rather play the Bengals than Kansas City. Like, that's a realistic thing. I understand why they went for the win then. But it's like, Brandon Staley, you can clearly see the last 2 minutes of this game, clearly the Raiders are not in a hurry to snap the ball. They literally wait till there's a second left on the clock. It's like, wait till you get down to 1 second on the play clock, call a timeout. If you're going to call a timeout, don't call 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
You know, it's like because by doing that, you literally allow them to have that extra. It was like an extra 3 seconds where it's like they're gonna kick a field goal if they get it. It's like, dude, just let them run it out. Both of you are gonna go into the playoffs. You're gonna boot the Steelers out, which I thought would have just been the greatest thing to see happen, is not to allow the Steelers to back in. Both teams get in. The Chiefs somehow lose to the Raiders. Oh, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, I was really hoping for the Steelers to get in just because it's Ben
That's what I was
Roethlisberger's
going to
last
say that too.
No, I don't want to see him. He's done. Let's get rid of him.
Well, he'll be gone soon enough. He's going to be one and done in the playoffs. So
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah,
they
but
win.
just let him have his last playoff game.
Well, here's my issue with the Steelers are they're just not an interesting team. Like
No,
there's
not at all, but
the Chargers are interesting. They have Justin
Yeah.
Herbert. It's like Justin Herbert could go crazy against Joe Burrow, and that 45-42 game. It comes to the last second with the Steelers, whoever they play. It's like, oh, that's a 13-27. I'm not watching game.
You never know though. It's the Steelers.
Come on,
hey, you never know. You remember
TJ
Peyton Manning?
Watts. TJ
Playoffs?
Watts. Okay, Peyton. I didn't watch any of Peyton Manning's last year because he was that bad, unfortunately.
Yeah, but
The
he still
previous-
won it, and that's interesting.
He's also out for a decent amount.
Well, yeah, but when he came back, that
Yeah, he was
playoff,
bad.
oh, he was horrible. They should have kept Brock Osweiler in. I would have. I mean, not that Brock.
Well, which is what they did. They did keep him, and then came Super Bowl. Then Peyton Manning went and won it.
Well,
again.
I mean, like they
Sailed off
should
to the sunset.
have just let
Broncos did
Brock-
it perfectly.
I mean, they
Got a
did-
Super Bowl. Peyton got a Super Bowl. Brock Osweiler left, and he was shit. Turns out
Well, he got his money from the Texans, though.
he got his he got his money, so he got a
Then
win
he
there.
came
But,
back. Then he came back to the Broncos.
yep.
Is he still
Wait.
on a team or no?
No, I think he's gone.
I don't think.
If he's on some other team, it's got to be as a practice
As
squad.
backup or
There's no. I bet he's retired. He's
I don't
done.
think he's. I bet he's just a free agent.
I'm going with retired.
There's no way he would be fully retired. I feel like, but he's definitely not on a team.
last year was 2018 with the Dolphins.
Well, that's right. He was on the Dolphins as like backup. Yeah. Who knows?
I mean, that doesn't. Oh yeah, he did
Not really
retire.
matter. He did.
Oh,
retire.
What was that? What was that? What was that?
He retired.
We don't have any time.
Oh,
But I mean, it's not like it's not like their offense didn't win them that Super Bowl.
No.
Von Miller won them that Super Bowl, and I mean Cam Newton.
oh, and I was saying Cam Newton also won the Broncos.
Oh yeah, I mean by not being a team player and jumping on that football, yes.
Yeah. I mean,
That is-
However, I also loved it because fuck Cam Newton on that one.
Oh yeah,
I hated
yeah.
him that year.
Yep, I agree. But and I'm not trying to say it like that because I do think Cam Newton probably is a very good teammate, but it's a fucking Super Bowl. People are
Yeah.
like, people are like, he saw what happened to Drew Brees. Drew Brees was not in the middle of the Super Bowl. Drew Brees would have, I guarantee you, Drew Brees 100 out of 100 times would have jumped on that football in the Super Bowl. Even if they told him, like, there's a good chance your arm's going to be broken, it may never be recovered. It's like, it's the Super Bowl. You do it.
well, it's one of those.
That's what you
things
play the game.
It's one of those things that I don't even think. I think the big thing about it is that I don't even know why he's. It's weird that he's thinking of an outcome for it when it should just be like
Yeah.
when you're playing the game of football. It doesn't matter if it's preseason, regular season, Super Bowl. If you see the ball on the ground, you dive.
Jump for it,
Like
yeah.
it's just an instinct. And it's weird that
Yeah.
he didn't have that instinct to just dive on the ball. He was thinking about protecting himself, which
Yeah.
is just really odd.
Exactly. It's special.
Especially
Like-
knowing that he was that big of a he was a sturdy big guy.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Constantly ran it himself. He can take a hit, which
Yeah.
means if he jump on the football and takes a few hits while holding it, he can take it easily.
Well, yeah,
He
it's
wouldn't.
just one of those things where it's like you deserve to lose. That's one of those moments where it's like you deserve to lose.
It's harsh, but
And
I agree.
it's like, well, again, it just it's it's like basketball. If Kobe Bryant quits shooting in the second quarter and they lose by 8 points, they deserve to lose. Kobe Bryant quit shooting.
Well,
Just like LeBron. Like if LeBron stopped shooting third quarter because he had a bad night, and it's like you got to just keep shooting, LeBron. You just got to keep looking away. Eventually, you're gonna hit one. You hit one, you can get up there. Same thing with Cam Newton. It's like you dive on that football. Your team's like, oh my god, we got back this fumble. You put on a first down. It's like you go kick a field goal. Next thing, your defense is a little more revitalized. You guys stop, and it's like you can. There's just some momentum to every sporting event.
yeah, the thing with that, I don't know if technically the Panthers deserve to lose that Super Bowl after Cam doesn't dive on the ball, but
Yes, it did.
I think the word I think like deserve is
Oh
harsh.
no!
But I think you are going to lose the game if you don't make that play.
Well, yeah, you jump on that ball and you get it. You're not losing momentum. It's kind of one of those like, you know what? It happened. We're good.
It's a
We're
walk.
good now.
I actually
You not only lose the fumble. Let's say you lose the fumble, but you tried at least. You lose some momentum, but you can pick it back up because shit happens.
Yep.
If your team sees that you just did not do anything for it,
mm-hmm.
that's it.
You lose. Yeah, you lose the heart of your team. Your team just is like if
You fumble it.
Yeah,
You don't jump on it. They pick it up. They score. What's worse than that?
yeah. If our best player isn't willing to, if our best player or leader is not willing to jump on that football at that time, it's like, what's he saying to us? Is he just saying it's not worth it? You know, like
basically.
Unfortunately, at that moment, that's the type of shit that rattles through someone's mind, you know, and you just immediately are like, oh, okay. Well,
yeah, there's no way that one of those players didn't have that thought of like, this guy my QB basically just told me, fuck off.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's not willing to risk himself for his team.
Yep.
By the way, we're talking about the Super Bowl 50 between the Panthers and Broncos. If you want to look up fumble play, Cam Newton, if you don't know what we're talking about. And let's get with the current times with the teams going into the playoffs. Obviously we have Z-Man's with his Cowboys. I like the Buccaneers, but we all like Tom Brady, so that's not a surprise. But who's everyone picking for the Super Bowl for you guys?
To go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, who's coming out of the AFC and the NFC?
Give me a moment. I'm gonna pull up the.
I mean, Kansas City's obviously going to be a favorite. Everyone knows that. However, Titans, I think, are probably the next best bet right now. They've been playing good again. They are getting Henry back. So they have not only momentum going in already, you're now getting the best running back in the league back, who, as we saw from when he played to when he got injured, he was apparently just a huge difference maker. As much for that NFC, as much as I would like to say my boys, I think, don't hold me to this now. I think they will beat the 49ers.
Oh, is that who they play?
That's the
weekend?
wild card game. It's the 49ers. Yep, because Rams lost, so they got bumped down to number 4, and Cowboys won, so they went up to number 3. I think. Well, if I'm right about the bracket, in terms of Cowboys, if they win against the 49ers, they play the winner of I think they play the winner of the I'm trying to think who's I think they play the winner of the Buccaneers.
They would,
Eagles.
But I think the Cowboys might actually end up be playing because if the Bucks
Winner
win,
of the Cardinals Rams.
Yeah, Cardinals. I'm looking at it.
I would like that. I don't want to play the Buccaneers.
the Bucks you might have to play because they're the 2 seed, so they will never play the Packers.
Well, that's what I was saying at first, and then I said I would like them. I would like it if they played the Cardinals or Rams, but I think they would play the winner of the Buccaneers Eagles, which is the Buccaneers. the chance that the Eagles have of winning is so minuscule.
I wouldn't.
So can you see that? It's pretty tiny.
It's not minuscule.
Tiny.
What are you talking about? That's huge.
Well, the unfortunate thing is the Buccaneers have been very hurt this year.
To me, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, it's also the Eagles.
Yeah, but dude, the Eagles have the number one rush offense, and their defense is not terrible. So, you you look at that, it's like,
Yes, they got good, but they didn't. From when they were from first half of the season to the second half, they played a lot better in the second half. But what was done differently? Nothing. Or like they didn't really gain anyone new.
no, I mean, no, not really.
So yeah,
but-
they have a little bit of momentum going in, but not only are they playing the Buccaneers, who are good, they're playing Tom Brady, who is Tom Brady. But also, we've seen what happens when that defense really plays. They're shit. They are horrible.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, out of the AFC, the two teams that I probably like the best are the Titans and Bills.
Bills is interesting, but
well, looking at it, it looks like the Bills played the Patriots first. Last time they played, as long as Josh Allen isn't terrible, they're probably going to win. Raiders play the Bengals if Joe Burrow goes bonkers, which I hope he does, just out of
Right.
principle, because who doesn't want to see him go crazy? They played the Bengals, so it's like I would take the Bills over the Bengals, but Chiefs are playing the Steelers. Who knows? Maybe T.J. Watt goes crazy and sacks Patrick Mahomes.
maybe Ben does because it's Big Ben.
Yeah, exactly. Like who knows?
I was hoping for something. I was hoping he was going to shit on him.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
I mean,
Because he just did it 10 minutes ago.
I hope I don't want to see it happen, but T.J. Watt is liable to have a game where he has 4 sacks and destroys the whole team. Like he just is liable to do it. And with Big Ben, it's like you never know. He might muster something up in the last 3 minutes of the game to win. So I could actually see the Chiefs losing. Do I think they're going to? Probably not. But I could see it. I just think the Titans and the Bills are the only two that have been pretty strong the entire year and look strong right now coming out of the AFC. In the NFC, there's only honestly 2 teams that I would even realistically.
They both have
want.
number 12 playing.
Pretty much, yeah. Yep, pretty much. I mean, the only other team that if they're on, and I mean if they are on, they're going to be a handful is actually the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Cowboys could do some damage if they can get their
The
team.
issue is that offense isn't consistent.
Well, same thing with the 49ers though too. Like the 49ers, again, if I actually think whoever wins out of the 49ers Cowboys will go farther than the Rams and the Cardinals and possibly the Packers. Like I don't think the Packers have had as great of a season as everyone has thought. And I think they've gotten lucky with some of their games and some of their calls, and I just don't think they're as good as what everyone thinks they are. I don't think they're a terrible team by any.
I mean, you have a Hall of Fame QB.
Yeah.
You have a future Hall of Fame wide receiver and a very good running back.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of it. They have a good defense and a good offense. The rest of it, yes, but I haven't really heard anyone ever go, this is an elite defense. This is an elite offensive line. They just have those great players and a great coach.
I've watched a lot of their games this year, the Packers, and they have games where they don't even look like the better team. It's just they have Aaron Rodgers, and he makes 2 or 3 big plays, they score, and then the other team just is like, oh shit, it's Aaron Rodgers, and they just fold.
Well, and the thing is too, when you have a QB that will not throw an interception,
yeah,
so you are not getting that extra turnover to an
yeah. I mean, but like the games against Chicago, I want to say it was the second game against Chicago. They should have lost that one.
Mhm.
There was 2 or 3 bad calls, that, I mean, unfortunately went against Chicago, but Chicago probably should have won that game. There's another game against like the most recent Vikings game. They probably should have lost that one if Kirk Cousins was in. I
If
think
they
we
had
talked
Kirk
about that.
Cousins, it's a
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
surprisingly, it's a completely different story.
Yeah, it's like they probably are a different seeding, and that team is looking vastly different. It's just they got lucky, they got breaks, and they're the number one team. But I trust them less this year than I did last year, and I didn't trust them last year. So we will see.
Yeah, they'll make it the conference championship, and that's it.
I hope, or I hope they don't even get there. I
Or
really,
if they play the Buccaneers second round, and that's it for them.
oh, that would be beautiful.
Because it's the Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. He chokes when it comes to Tom Brady.
TV throws a party on them. That would be a pretty good night.
Yeah, my prediction, Super Bowl, is Belichick versus Brady.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, that's not a. I could see that.
I know there's like a lot of things on it. I just don't see that happening at all.
The only reason why I see it happening is just because it's just a weird enough storyline and it would be just that good of a storyline that for some reason I just think it lines up and I think we get it.
The one
I think
thing
it would be just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
If it happened, I wouldn't be upset.
Most likely option, I think, though, is probably rematch of the Super Bowl from last year.
Yeah.
Just because I think the Chiefs are just going to have more experience and are going to be they're going to have Mahomes, and I just think that's going to probably be the difference maker in the AFC. And then I think Tom Brady's just the difference maker in the NFC. And I see it as the most likely option. What I want is Belichick versus Brady, and I want Brady to win and beat Belichick. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, the only thing is the Chiefs have lost to the Bills, so I almost don't think Mahomes is as big of a advantage as people make it seem to be, especially this year.
Yeah, but I mean, also the Saints the Saints shut out the Buccaneers, and the Saints aren't anywhere in the playoffs. So I mean, you can lose in the regular season, but it doesn't make a difference for the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it is one of those things that I agree. The one matchup I actually want to see is the Bengals versus Tom Brady.
That would be sweet, but
just because I want to see Joe Burrow throw a party all the way there, throw a party in the Super Bowl, but Tom Brady throws a party as well, and unfortunately Tom just comes out ahead. But it's like, oh my God, the Bengals are good now.
I would kind of like to see Joe Burrow win the Super Bowl and do one of his legendary cigar videos.
Exactly.
Too good.
Just to see it, because he's almost built like Tom Brady in that regard, where you're just like, it's hard not to root for the guy when he does well.
Yeah. What'd you think of the national championship ending?
Oh, I was so excited. I just didn't want to see Alabama win.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a long time coming. Georgia needed the win this year. That's what a lot of other people said. It's like, this is the year Georgia should win. I thought the game was probably closer than it really was. Yeah, like, especially going into the fourth quarter. I mean, it was still like neck and neck, and then Georgia scored 3 times. But going into the fourth, I kind of thought like Georgia should have pulled away by now, and Alabama just hung in there, and then the dam broke, and unfortunately they didn't, they couldn't do anything to stop.
Well, yeah, because what was it, 9-9 going into the fourth quarter?
I
thought
it was 18-19, and then
maybe it was going to the half. Then it was 9-9.
Yeah, or I think 10-9 or
something like that.
6. Yeah,
It was surprisingly low scoring.
Mhm.
And even then, you have an end to end the game, pick 6. So take
that
those
was
6
awful.
points off. You're
Yeah.
looking at 27-18. So it was
Yeah, I
something
mean,
like that. It was close.
it was a good game. I mean, what I liked probably was at the end with Saban, where he was sitting there with Bryce Young and I think Will Anderson, if their pass rusher, and they're about to leave, and he's like, hold up for a second,
Okay.
and he was like, hey, he's like, this game is not going to define these two dudes. That
No.
part was pretty cool. That was actually a pretty sweet part. I was like, it's like, obviously it's a shitty game for them because they lost, and unfortunately Bryce Young looked panicked a lot of it because he's getting punched in the mouth
Yeah.
repeatedly, and Georgia's offensive line did a pretty good job from third quarter on of making sure that their offense was doing well. So, your two best players, your two most impactful players don't have that ability to really impact the game as much as, they normally would. I thought it was pretty sweet by Nick Saban saying that, like, at the end. So,
Yeah. No, I mean, if it was any other team, even then, though, through the thing, I was rooting for Alabama, but
yeah.
just because that was who my dad always rooted for. If Notre Dame wasn't anywhere, he's rooting for Nick Saban. But Georgia, I was very much okay with winning.
Yeah. I personally wouldn't have cared if any of the teams won this year. I just kind of didn't want to see Alabama win just because you get burned out of seeing the same team. Like, that's why it was so nice to see Clemson get pounded this year the way they did. It's
they got shit on.
It's just like at some point in time, it's tough watching the same team win the same way every time. It's like, I just.
Not with Tom Brady, though.
Plus, you get go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you finish up because I was just going to talk about Georgia.
I was just going to say, the thing with Tom Brady, though, is they win, whether it's the Patriots, the Buccaneers, they win 100 different ways. With Alabama, it tends to be that it's evenly matched for like 2 series. They score once, the other team is just trying to play catch up, and the team never has the ability to play catch up. And it ends up being a 27-38 game, but it really was closer to 28-14 game, Like that's the unfortunate thing with like Alabama. A lot of the Clemsons, the Ohio States, that's how their games go. It's really closer to a 2-touchdown, 3-touchdown lead, and the other team scores once or scores 10 points, and it's a little bit closer, and people are like, well, it is what it is. But for the most part, it's blow. It's with the Patriots, Tom Brady. It's they're either up by 7, they get down, and then Tom Brady drives and wins them the game. They're down, comes back, gets them ahead. They win differently. It's just not. It's not a blowout. It's not always a 12-point comeback with 2 minutes left. Where college unfortunately is blowouts or some ridiculous comeback because the team lost all momentum.
Yeah.
Well, and with Tom Brady, I was thinking about it earlier because I watched the newest episode of Man in the Arena. Did you watch that, Z-Boy?
Episode, is that 9?
Yeah.
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay. It's incredible, but it's not about the episode or anything.
I'll be right back too.
But I was just thinking, like, now that he is considered the GOAT, and now it's basically it's not debatable anymore, his like meaning and like his stature in the NFL, that he is just like the best ever, and he's always kind of played on being the underdog. I just wonder like where his like motivation kind of comes from now that he is just undeniably the best quarterback to ever play.
I think it just he always has something to prove. Like, it always seems like every interview he has, he's always like, "There's another game I can win. There's another series that I can be the best on." Like that's the one thing that it always seemed like, like most people would be content. It's like, hey, I've gone to 10 Super Bowls. I won 70% of them. Like if I get there for 11th and I win an 8th, it's gonna help me a lot, make me look better. But for him, it's just like if I don't get there, it takes away these other 10.
Yeah.
And that's that to me, I think it's just something that a lot of people don't grasp. Like a lot of sports people, a lot of people in the world just don't grasp, because how can you? It's you're going for the absolute pinnacle every time. So
Yeah, it's just there was so many years. I mean, year after year with Tom, where they were like, he's finished and everything, and he just defied all those odds. And now now every game he comes out, they don't even question it anymore. They just go, he's the GOAT. If he has one bad day, they don't even say it's over anymore. They're just like, I'll be back next week. Like, it's Tom Brady. What are we going to say? He's done. He's already proven that he's just going to be done when he wants to be done. And so I find it crazy now that he still is just so driven, and he's still, I mean, it just shows that he actually just really loves football, and it's not about anything other than he just loves football and he loves winning.
Mm-hmm. Well, he does. I mean,
that's what it is.
It is one of them things.
But yeah, I can't wait for you to watch episode 9, though, Z-Boy. It's so good.
Yeah, I gotta
what's
watch
it
an
on?
episode of that and Dexter.
Is it on Hulu?
Hulu Live? No.
It's with like the Showtime attachment, I think, or something. Maybe.
So if I had HBO Max, technically I could watch it.
Probably no.
Oh, because it's not on HBO Max.
I've been watching on ESPN Plus. I don't know if you need to have an actual account or if it's just on ESPN.
Well, I'm not watching it, so.
Well, you could try the ESPN app and just go onto it and see if it's available. Because it's incredible.
I'll just pirate it off YouTube. So.
Well, there you go.
I'll do what everyone else does. I'll do what everyone else does in this world.
Yeah.
Oh. Also, lately, I figured out I just have like Andrew Garfield's style from like 6 years ago. Like his facial hair and his hair.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you can see.
Oh my God!
So he's got like a mustache, and he's got a bun, and then if I do kind of like this, it's basically the same. Because I saw him in an interview from like 6 years ago today, and I was like, oh my God, I'm a knockoff.
What did he have just come out not too long ago?
He does
like
that.
Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah,
Spooderman?
I think it's just Tick Tick Boom. I think.
Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be apparently.
I'm gonna get a Gatorade. Give me a moment.
Holy.
Look at that lounge chair though.
That he's like got right. Look at that bare-looking apartment.
It looks like I don't even know what it looks like, but it's look at how close the chair is to the couch. There's no room.
It's hitting the couch.
Anywho, yeah, Tick Tick Boom. He's like playing the guy who wrote or made the musical Rent, I believe.
It looks good.
It does look really good, and yeah, no spoilers about what else he has been in.
Fuck.
You mean like Spider-Man?
No spoilers.
Man.
That's not a spoiler.
Yeah, it is. It wasn't
If
like it
people
was ever.
don't know, huh?
It wasn't ever like confirmed until you actually see it.
Yes, but if I at this point am spoiling that he's in it for people, then apparently they don't just use internet.
Oh.
Well, there are people that don't use the internet and would like to see the movie. Well, I guess if they don't use the internet, they're not going to see this anyways.
Bingo.
I guess you got me, but I still haven't even seen a spoiler for it though. But I went and saw it. But I'm saying I haven't seen like anything about it.
I
I think I almost have like it's one of those like where they put on like a spoiler alert like 2 or 3 times before showing it.
Yeah.
So like they're there, but I haven't seen them because people are considerate about it.
But you are not.
Not intentionally though. I don't intentionally spoil things for you. It's,
Oh yeah, I really want to see Infinity War
You're
too. I
actually-
heard Vision dies. Remember that, D-Boy?
Again, sounds like it was. I tried to spoil it for you, but I genuinely did not try to. Didn't even think about it.
Yeah. We're just standing around at work one day. Infinity War just came out. Planning on going like the next night, and yeah, I barely know this freaking guy at this time. And you know, it's just like, oh yeah, Infinity War, that looked kind of cool. I heard Vision dies in it. And it was just like, why is that even the next words that come out of your mouth when someone's like, I really want to see this movie? You go, oh yeah, I heard like
who
one of the main.
says that? Who
Yeah, like-
says that? Oh my God.
Again, though, I don't even think of it. It's the same thing with Nick Nolte in Star Wars.
It's just that
It doesn't
one
even
too.
cross my mind. I'm not Jarrett where I'm trying to spoil it for you.
My God.
And yeah, the only way
It's the
I
whole
would've-
thing of this is faster than this.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you gonna do?
Nothing apparently. Let's get to the real juicy stuff that we want to know, Ding. We need to know. What'd you think of Snatch?
What I thought of Snatch.
He finally
Okay.
watched it.
I'm nervous.
So I watched it.
He's about to shit on it.
Like I told you, Reno, I probably shouldn't have watched it the day I watched it, only because I watched it like right before my antibody treatment for COVID. So like, again, I had that at 2, and it had snowed like hella like that morning. So I was just like kind of focused on like wanting to get there. So I just kind of like I watched it, but I just you're just kind of like watching, you're like just trying to pass time, where it's like you're not
That's a
genuinely.
bummer.
So I watched the first like 45 minutes, went to my thing, came back like 2 hours later, and then I didn't watch it that night because I was like, you know what? I actually want to like sit down and watch the last 45 minutes, like actually soak it in. Last 45 minutes, pretty damn good. Like the first 45 minutes, pretty damn good too. But like you said, you're like, it jumps around kind of quite a bit. I really enjoyed Brad Pitt in the movie though. Like Brad Pitt was pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, he's so cool in it. His freaking
I did not
accent.
I did not like the. Yeah,
You
I
like
didn't-
eggs?
I didn't like
Eggs.
God damn, not that guy. He's the bookie guy. I hated that guy.
I don't remember
The one
who
who-
plays him.
Who is gonna feed everyone to the pigs? Yeah, that guy. I was so happy at
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck. I was like so happy. It's like, oh, perfect.
Yeah, I
it was
mean-
a pretty good movie. Like,
I mean, it was like what I was telling you too. It's like it's not one of even like close to being one of like my top favorite movies, but it just had
Like-
such a hype around it from Z-Man and I just because we wanted you to watch it because it was just like, hey, you haven't seen Snatch, like you should watch this, and then you waited so long that now there's
Refused
so
to
much hype behind it that it wasn't just a movie anymore. Now it seemed like it was Z-Man and I's favorite movie of all time. When it's not,
no,
it's just a pretty sweet movie, but because it's
yeah,
not not as good as The Gentleman, and I would say Gentleman is
better.
way better.
Yep. And I mean, very similar movies though. Like that was literally the first thing I thought. I was like, this movie's a lot like The Gentleman, or The Gentleman's a lot like this movie.
Yeah,
And the kind of how the movie goes, how it ebbs and flows and stuff.
yeah, and like the just
I
random
like it.
acts of violence and
Just random things going on. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm-
I mean,
I'm glad you-
I thought it was a pretty good movie.
glad you watched it. I wish you went to start it just as a time waster, but
Right.
Well, I didn't intend for it to be that. It was just more that I think I started at like I want to say like 12:30, So like by the time I started, it was already kind of late, and then it's just like now I'm worried about getting out of my driveway so I can get this stupid treatment for COVID. So it's like I had other shit going on where I wasn't even like paying attention to like the movie really. Like I was watching it, but it's like
But you weren't focused.
yeah, exactly. Like it's like, oh, I know what's going on, but I'm not invested. Like I'm not invested in it. Last 45 minutes, I was definitely way more invested.
Well, you didn't give yourself like a good chance to be invested. You're starting it before
Yeah,
you have to
that
go
too. I mean,
treatment that you might not be that thrilled about going and having to do. So you're kind of maybe anxious, and you're anxious because there's that you're not gonna be able to get there because of a snowstorm.
yeah, I mean, I think it was probably that two combinations of things where it's like A, it sucks that I have to go get this stupid treatment. Second of all, it's terrible out. Third of all, it's like I have to go get this treatment for an hour and a half. I'm just gonna hang out there, like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the best way would have done it to been, back at like 45,
Watch from
30
start to
with the
finish.
boys, pouring some
Mhm.
Captain Cokes, just like we did with the Irishman. Really?
Maybe not that much, Captain, though.
Well, no one, we shouldn't have drank that much when we were, because I still remember, I don't know if we've ever told on here, we've probably told a million times, but I still just remember, like, it was about a quarter way through the movie, and I remember it was tough to look at the screen, like, like I was saying, the screen was starting to get pretty fuzzy, and like, where you're like, you almost feel like you're floating in your chair,
Mhm.
like, you're starting to really, really starting to feel it, and then I was blown away by Ding, just blowing my mind because he knew everything that was about to happen. I'm like, this guy's a fucking genius. Like, holy crap.
And how did he know what was about to happen?
Well, because he had watched
Turns out
it.
he watched the movie before he came to watch it.
Even though we all said we're going to wait and watch it together and drink Captain and have a lovely time, which we did. But
Yeah. Well, what made it worse is the movie came out like a Wednesday, and we didn't have plans till like Friday to watch it.
Oh my God.
That was the problem.
yeah, but
that was the problem.
More of the problem is that you watched it on Friday, like before you came.
Yeah, you didn't watch it Wednesday
night
night or Thursday. You watched it that night before you came over.
I think I had watched it like half of it, like
Oh,
like I think I'd watched good part, like 45 minutes, and then the last hour and a half that day. Like either way, it didn't diminish anything. I thought it was a very good movie. Again, the gripes with that movie stayed the same. Should have just got a younger Robert De Niro. I don't know what he's doing, but he should be like 30 years younger, and we'd be fine. But
yeah, that would have been lovely if they made the movie back in their prime. But also, don't take away old Pesci. I love old Pesci.
Oh, he was awesome. I mean, he was
so cool in it.
adorable.
He's adorable. He's got a freaking massive ring on. It looks like it's bigger than his whole hand, and looks so cool in it, though. He looks like a true old mob boss, and and Al Pacino's incredible in it. If he was a little younger too, he would really. I don't know, but the old kind of helps with Al Pacino because his voice is way raspier now than it used to be.
Yeah.
And I think that like super raspy voice
Personally,
sounds so cool.
It did not bother me the way it like bothered you guys.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. I was just going with the
But
point.
even like De Niro, like they probably could have, but it didn't bother me or affect me one bit that he was a little bit older.
No, it didn't bother me with like his speaking or just the normal acting. It was the movement when it's like he's supposed to be beating someone up like that. It looks so bad. It's like,
the head stomping in the street after that's horrible to watch. They should have just tried to edit that a different way, but
yeah.
Well, they should have just used a younger body.
Yeah, I don't know why
they
they
just done
decided.
some CGI.
Well, yeah. That to me is the thing. It's like you could have used Robert De Niro in 90% of the movie and had no complaint. It's when you use him for an action scene, and it's like he looks 70 years old. He looks old. He doesn't look, he doesn't look super spry for 70 even. You know, there's not a lot of 70-year-olds who do, but it's like, boy, he really don't look spry for 70. You know,
Stallone looks kind of
Yeah.
spry though. He's still.
but I think they're two different type of people. I think Stallone is
Incredible.
I'm a workout type guy, and I think Robert De Niro works out, but I don't think it's Stallone type workout. You know?
my God, they're making Expendables 4, and I'm excited.
I know. It's gonna be so bad, but
I'm excited. It is, and I can't wait. I love
Expendables 4 at the nursing home.
Again, that's another movie.
Hey, they all look good. in the movie.
If they would have made that movie in 1995, it'd be
Oh my god.
top 5 all time top 5 action movie. But they made it
well,
2000.
That movie would
12.
be disgusting. I mean, the mass, the
It'd be
body mass
the
alone.
math. Well,
Dead
wait, why do you
stuff.
think? Why do you think Expendables is bad now?
It's just, well, again, it's because you put in. It's very similar to The Irishman. You have a lot of older people who are clearly like out of their physical.
Oh,
Act
but see
right.
the thing, but that's the thing is, if you watch the movie, it's not bad because of them being old. Because if you watch a movie, the movements are fine. It's just the storyline and dialogue. It's shit.
No, I know.
It ain't because of who's in it. That's what makes it only decent. The fact that I like it is because of how many people are in it and how they move and do stuff. It is the dialogue and
But
the actual
here-
plot that's like,
but
holy
here's what-
shit, why did someone okay this?
I know, but here's what I'm telling you. You can forego a lot of terrible dialogue if you're like, holy shit, did you just see Jet Li kick that dude's eyeball clean out of his socket? You could get away with a lot more when the shit looks a lot more crisp. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean they probably could have added that, but the Christmas, like in terms of that action stuff, it's not bad at the movie.
No, and it's not. It's just, again, I feel like when you have younger people, you can get away with a little more stuff because it's like.
Well,
like,
yeah, because
I
if
could see-
Stallone
I could
or
see-
Arnold take off their shirts in the Expendables, it's buff and wrinkly, not buff and,
Beautiful.
I don't know, oiled up and looking good.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously it looks better if this was back in the 70s and 80s.
Oh,
They don't look bad now. They are still
Oh
young.
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's just, I mean, again,
and Arnold and
I'll put
Stallone back in the freaking 80s with their shirt popped off, oiled up. That's a movie.
What makes the movies bad now is because, like in the second one, when Arnold comes in and they're fighting, and he does something and looks at one of them and goes, "I'll be back," and then goes and does something. I love it, but it's the cheesiest thing ever.
Yeah, it's just all them hitting their catchphrases left and right.
They're hitting all their catchphrases from 40 years ago.
Yeah, it's unbearable, really, but it's.
I
incredible.
can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, I'll definitely go.
I'm
I'll
excited.
definitely be watching it. There's no doubt about that. But
I
the
can't
third
wait.
one was definitely the weakest, though,
Yeah.
because I liked the first one a lot, and then the second one.
Although
was,
Mel Gibson was amazing in that third one.
So I mean, I'll definitely be watching. There ain't no doubt about that. But I can't imagine what they're gonna look like. It's just like the new.
Yeah, they're no longer
Jones.
like in their late 60s and 70s. They are in their 70s.
Yeah.
They're getting up there.
It's just like the new Indiana Jones that's gonna come out. I'm so excited for it, but man, I can't even wait. I can't wait to see what Harrison Ford's gonna look like.
It's not going to be good.
Well, you know,
He's going to look like one of the skeletons he finds in the tunnels.
dude, I wouldn't. I just
He
watched.
hasn't looked good in the past.
Well, I just watched Blade Runner 2049
Yeah,
for the
Yeah.
for the probably realistically for the first like actual like start to finish for the
So
first
good.
time, and
so good.
he actually did not look bad. Like when I saw him, I'm like, damn, Harrison Ford does not look terrible.
Yeah, but when did
That was almost like 5
That-
years ago, though. Now,
2018, I want to say.
I
no, it was
I
more than
thought
that.
it
It
was before that.
was either 2017 or 2016. Not
Okay,
2017.
okay. I mean-
2017.
Okay, so I mean, it has been some time. Like, I'll give you that.
And by the
But
time
it
Indiana
just-
Jones comes out, it's going to be another couple of years. So the distance
Yeah.
in between, that's quite a lot for.
Well, but here's my thing. you know, and this is what I told my dad. What they should do is have the Indiana Jones going forward. Have someone like Chris Pratt, who kind of looks like a younger Indiana Jones, realistically. You have
It's
someone
got to be
like
one person. It's got to be Mutt. Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, it's gotta be my
No,
boy Shia.
no, cut him out. I wouldn't. I would kill.
Ah,
his
he earned his spot in the
I would
last
kill.
movie. He's
I
in
would
now.
kill his character off tomorrow, given the chance. I put in someone like Chris Pratt because
Please
you
do
know
not bring
he
in
has
Chris
that.
Pratt. Please, please, please.
Oh,
do not.
bringing only. the
No,
only reason
you
I
go
say
with someone
Chris
else
Pratt-
just strictly because the movie is a little bit of comedy, but it's more action than anything. And
Yeah, but
he's-
but that's what I'm saying is Chris Pratt. You kind of get that comedy, and
Ryan Gosling.
I think Ryan Reynolds would be fine too. Like there's a number of people you could
Too
put in there.
comedic.
Well, I know, but there's again Zachary. There's a
Chris
movie
Pine.
See,
I
but
wouldn't put. Nope.
Indiana
I wouldn't
Jones. Just don't replace Indiana Jones. Just have Harrison Ford do it.
No,
Don't replace
I
the
mean
man.
if you would let me fucking finish, I would tell you what I was gonna say. God damn, jumping down my throat. Do what you did.
Well, you
Daniel
suggested
Craig.
Chris Pratt.
No.
That's unforgivable.
Okay, well, first of all, Chris Pratt would be the next best Indiana Jones, only again because he resembles a young Harrison Ford currently. Like from kind of look wise, kind of body shape, kind of how they are as actors, very similar to early Indiana Jones. But what they should do if they're going to replace Indiana Jones, like Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, they should have him become Indiana Jones's like dad, like he was in the third movie. You know,
Mutt.
Yeah, literally.
what's his face?
Shia
Shia.
LaBeouf. Mutt.
No,
His
that's
kid
the
in the-
fourth movie. I mean, Sean
Yes,
Connery.
but he's.
No, what I'm saying
No,
is,
I know what you mean.
yeah, is do that where it's like he's still Indiana Jones, but it's Indiana Jones Jr., but not Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf is not a good choice for Indiana Jones.
But he plays his son
I
in the
don't
fourth
care.
movie.
I don't
And he was
care.
incredible in it.
I don't care. You can cut him
Leather
out tomorrow.
jacket. He's got the paperboy hat on.
Cut
He
him out
looks amazing.
tomorrow. Bring him out to the pasture, pop him, and call it good.
I don't
That's
think
literally
that-
what I would do.
Well,
Pop him.
There's no juice. He has no juice. That's all I'm saying. There's no juice from it. He has no juice as Indiana Jones.
I mean, I thought
Indiana
he was
Jones.
pretty great.
Yeah, but he
Well, Ting
also-
thought he was the worst actor in history.
Apparently, worst guy to ever step on screen.
I wouldn't agree with that, but it's just he has no juice for Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones is a world that you have to have some juice in. Unfortunately, that's just all I'm saying.
I mean, you're probably not that far off, and I don't really want to see Shia LaBeouf take over the film franchise. I don't really want to see anybody take it over.
No, but not Chris Pratt.
Well, again,
Not feeling Chris Pratt though.
I think it would be an odd choice, but he's one that realistically, depending on what he's going for, like what artifact, the setting, the time in the, you know, if it's the 40s or the 50s, depending on where they're doing it, I could realistically see it and be like, hey, that actually kind of resembles one of the original 3 movies. There's very few actors currently that I see.
Do you really
that-
think Chris Pratt has similarities to young Harrison Ford?
They look pretty similar. Like if
No way.
not pretty similar. I mean, not super, but I mean, you think about it, it's like Chris Pratt looked just based off Jurassic World or whatever. He
Mhm.
kind of looked like Indiana fucking Jones in that movie, the whole movie.
I mean, maybe. I guess I never once thought it.
Oh no, I mean, like if you look back, you're like, that fucker looks like Indiana Jones just in Jurassic World. You know, like that was
Didn't
my
feel
whole
like
time.
him though.
No, it didn't feel like it because it's completely different movie, obviously. But that's why I'm saying, like, depending on what the artifact they're going for, what time period, you put someone like Chris Pratt in there, you could realistically be like, oh, that actually kind of feels like one of the original movies, just updated, you know? where the fourth movie felt out of place because you're like, what the fuck's this? This movie is out there, you know. But I also wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of the Russians. Let's get back to what they had in their two best movies. I mean, that group dressed in black, headed by Nazis, that group. I mean, put them in there. Get back the Nazis.
I liked how you it seemed like you were gonna kind of beat around the bush of what those people were and stuff. You're dressed in black, the Nazis.
Yeah. Well, they're just
I'm confused on where you're going with this.
Oh, I'm just saying is
because of the two sentences you said, all I could get was you wanted them to succeed.
No, the second.
And now I'm getting nervous.
The second movie had the guys in
Temple of Doom. It was the natives.
Yep, that one just not again no juice. But the first movie because of how that movie ends and how you're again they play into it. Ark of the Covenant can destroy everything. You have a group like the Nazis who are. Everyone knows that's what they're trying to do. It's oh my God. It becomes vitally important that they get the Ark of the Covenant away from the Nazis, which they don't. But third movie, at the end, is just absolutely awesome because it's hey, the Nazis lose. And, they're just a little more... It's a lot easier to root for, I hate to say it, the Indiana Jones over, the Nazis as opposed to the Russians, because it's I wasn't born around the time of either of any of this, but it's who do I have a bigger gripe with, the Nazis or the Russians of the 1950s? Probably the Nazis, That's just me. I don't know. I personally would just get back to that because I think they are the better of the four movies, but I'm talking a lot, so
yeah. I mean, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I don't know if Chris Pratt's the guy to do it. I think he's incredible as Star-Lord, but I don't think Chris Pratt's the guy to bring it back to the glory days of Indiana Jones. I think let's...
the only thing I'm going to say about that, though, is, again, I don't know what modern actor, you could actually do that with. It's with Indiana Jones, you want him to continue on. You can't have Harrison Ford doing it when he's 90, So it's if you have to have someone take over, who would you have? Who is a realistic person you could put in there? He's the only one that realistically I
Tom
can
Cruise.
see right now. Dude, no, Tom Cruise is too short. He's too short and he's too.
But he's older, but still looks good. He's got away with the ladies, and that's an Indiana Jones thing. He is that hot professor that
He just doesn't have that he doesn't have that Indiana juice, man. You gotta have.
Tell me some Indiana Jones with Tom Cruise jumping at a freaking launching motorcycles over pyramids.
Here's
I'd pop right
what
on.
I'm confused on. What juice does Chris Pratt have of making movies about killing CGI dinosaurs, whereas Tom Cruise is literally jumping off of the tallest building in the world and doing all his own motorcycle stunts and all of his stunts in general. Who is still at 50-some years old and still looks incredible.
It's, for me, it's not, it's more just their acting styles than anything. It's because I think, if you're going to go with someone who's going to have the best physical, probably overall, physical acting style, you're probably going to go Tom Cruise. He's one of the few people.
I don't think you need physical acting style with Indiana Jones.
No. But I do think, though, with Indiana Jones, it's one of those few characters that there is enough physical that you have to have a pretty, let's just be real, a pretty decent-looking physical actor in there where you're
you have to look good.
Yep, but and there's enough
Brad Pitt.
He's a little too old. That's the only thing. If he was 10 years younger, I agree.
They're literally making a new one with a 70-some-year-old Harrison Ford.
No, I mean for him to take over. That's what I mean. Like, because again,
Yeah.
I'm,
Okay. Yeah. No,
you
I
know,
know. What you mean.
that's what it'd be. Like, it's if this was 10 years ago, I'd be like, fucking pump Brad Pitt in there. Of course you would.
Pump Brad Pitt in there.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. Do it.
Do you like dogs?
You know, but it just again with Indiana Jones, there's like a little more of a comedic style to him as well. Like there's a cool factor, and I think you have to encompass the physical acting, the kind of the cool factor, and there's unfortunately like Tom Cruise has a physical. I don't think he has that cool factor for the most part. I think a lot of people. Let's be real. I think a lot of people look at Tom Cruise as the nerdy Scientology guy who does all his acting stunts, right?
So cool.
Sounds cool to me.
I mean,
Not the Scientology part, but
no,
the rest of it.
but I hate to say that. That's how a lot of people tend to look at him, though. Is he's
Well, why don't we ask Grace?
Oh, she's not here.
What would she say though if she was?
well, and I mean, I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan ever. I think you guys know that, but I also understand it's like if you're going to probably cast a actor who you're like, I want them to do all their stunts, you're going to cast Tom Cruise. Like, that doesn't make sense why you wouldn't do that, you know? But if you're asking me, cast an actor who has the best, like, chance to replicate young Harrison Ford, unfortunately, just trying to go through everything. Chris Pratt's on that list, on a very short list for me. Again, because there's not a lot of actors.
But
who
here,
fit.
I guess here's my thing though.
No.
Not that, like here's my thing though is if you're talking about needing someone younger, Chris Pratt's not your guy then.
Well, I think he's young enough. He's what?
I think if you're gonna try to reboot it with someone new, it's got to be a young person, 25 at
no.
most 30.
How about Taron Egerton from Kingsman?
Not bad.
So young.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
incredible.
Someone like that, you know, like someone who you kind of see and it's like he has juice. Like,
Yeah, because I mean, Chris Pratt's 42 years old. He's not young.
no, but
Unless you're gonna make a movie where he's the
looks
new
young,
one
though.
who's had already 10 plus years of experience
He's-
as Indy.
he looks pretty young though too.
Miss me
though.
with
Like,
that shit.
He looks pretty young though. Like,
Yeah, he does, but
you know what I mean? Again, it's just a style. I don't know how to describe it. Like the new
he's got
like,
suave.
the new Batman. It's like you have to fit a certain style. You couldn't just
Oh my
put
God.
someone
There you
in.
go then. That can be the new Indy.
Who?
Robert Pattinson.
Bingo, yeah.
No, I don't think he would fit.
You ever watch Twilight? Guy's so cool.
God, he is so cool. I'm excited for him as Batman, though. Really excited.
Yes.
But I mean, the more I'm thinking about this, I really can't argue against Dink because I can't think of anybody besides Taron. I think he'd be really interesting. But
At this point, if you're trying to find like a young, like between 20 and 30, good looking, cool actor, you're looking at a lot of people that have been in like not stuff that maybe we would be interested in. terms
Yeah,
of
I mean,
movies or shows.
That to me is just one of those things where it's like, if you're looking for someone to fit the style the most, there's not a lot. Like, a lot of actors unfortunately fit in like one or two styles, but that's it. And it's like, it's very different than Indiana Jones, unfortunately. Like,
how about we pump some Channing Tatum in there?
I just don't. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna say I just don't think he is a very similar, like, you could see it possibly, but I just don't think he has.
I can't see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I just don't think you could cast him and then people not be like,
Well, it's tough when you have someone so legendary as Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. It's so tough to even imagine somebody taking over that role, unless a young Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a lot of it too.
But I mean, I guess if they can replace,
I'm looking up some top young actors here who would be good.
But I guess if you can, keep replacing and doing better with, or keep switching around James Bond, then I mean, imagine you could have a new Indiana Jones. He'd have to be I don't know. You may have to like switch up like the style of Indiana Jones. You would have to go either more physical or more like
Yeah.
somebody who does more talking. I don't know.
Oh my God.
What? Who do we got?
Zac Efron. I can see that.
I just
see
don't
that.
know. I
I
just
see
don't
that.
know.
I like it.
I don't know if I could.
Or Michael B. Jordan.
That'd be interesting.
I can see both of those.
I could see Michael B.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Again, the issue, like Reno just said, when you have a very, very classic character, it's hard to make a very big pivot like that. I think the first movie would suffer probably in like how people look at it, but the movie after that would be very well done. You know what I'm saying? With Michael B. Jordan. Only because it's such a, again, most people aren't gonna view Indiana Jones as a dapper young black man who's incredibly nice looking. They're gonna view it as Harrison Ford's character, and it's like, oh, they gave it to Michael B. fucking Jordan. Now the second
I
movie,
think the people that are thinking that are the old people
yeah,
who might
but,
have a little bit of racism in them.
yeah, but there's, I mean,
Because when I look at Indiana Jones,
people
I
do
think
that with everything,
somewhat strong,
you know.
super smart, good looking guy.
Yeah, well, what I'm just saying
Michael
is it's specifically the name Indiana Jones that I think people lose their shit on is the Indiana Jones part. Because I think he'd be a good. It just would be such a pivot for a lot of people because it's like, you know, I hate to say it, it's a lot easier to pivot to, you know, it's just a reality, unfortunately, of everything. It's easier to pivot from a white guy to another white guy. Same thing with James Bond. You know, when they do pivot, because I do think they will pivot to a black actor or an actor of multiple ethnicities, it will be a hard thing. That first movie, because people will be stuck in their way. That second movie, because
I don't.
you know,
Well, see, that's hard to
bad.
say though because the last one just had a
Well,
non-white 007.
but not James Bond though. It's not James Bond. Just like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but
You know, like
I don't know. I don't think.
I
I think you're not giving people enough credit.
I don't think it'd be that hard, honestly, with like switching. Definitely not with James Bond. I don't think that would have any issue. Indiana Jones, I could see slightly more just because I don't know. It's only been one guy that's played it, as where James Bond's already had multiple eras. Indiana Jones is a tough sell regardless of race or anything. It's a tough to imagine anybody playing that character better than Ford has done.
And like I said though, I mean I think the first movie, if they did do a pivot like that, would be the one movie where it's like I couldn't watch it. They ruined Indiana Jones, but it'd still be like a good story, good everything. Second movie would be a movie where it's like, dude, that new Indiana Jones movie, fucking awesome. Like, you know, people. I hate to say it, especially in a situation like that. People always are sentimental about the things they grew up on, that they're used to. So when you give them a change, most of the time it's that acidic taste in their mouth, and then once they get rid of the acidic taste, they're like, "Oh, that shit was pretty good, actually." You know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just not like yes, obviously you think Indy, you think Harrison Ford, but he was also the iconic Star Wars character Han Solo.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They made a movie about him younger, whole different person playing Han Solo.
Oh, I did not watch it. So,
and I thought the movie was awesome. I know people didn't like it.
I think it's especially with like Indiana Jones, because those movies have been out for 40 years, all of them pretty much, except for the most recent one, which has been out 10 now, at least 10,
15.
Yeah, something probably. Like that.
10, 15. They've been out for so long that people, it's like soaked in that Indiana Jones is Harrison Ford. So to change it, regardless if you're changing to a new actor, you're changing it to a different race, that first time is going to be drawing for everyone. So as long as you make the right choice, that first movie's good. Where it's like, that's a good movie. I'm not sure about the change, but good movie. That second movie will always do better because people are going to be like, hey, they already changed it. We're already over the change. Now we just want to see this sweet ass movie. You know, like that's how I think a lot of people look at things. That's just how I think, unfortunately, everyone is it's hard to change. It's hard to change something that you've already been so used to. But once it gets
And I
changed,
think people need to get over it a little bit.
For sure, but I think he is right in a certain sense, though.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not. But
yeah. I mean, let me tell you, I think it would be fucking interesting to see Michael B. Jordan as Indiana Jones. I think it'd be cool. I would want to see.
He'd be good at it.
You know what I mean? Like, I would want to see what the fuck he's doing. Like, what artifact are they going after? That's what I want to know. You know, it's just, to me though, I know people would hold that shit. You know, oh my god, they got rid of Harrison Ford and they changed Indiana Jones, and it's like, so what? It's 40 years after it came out. It could change, just like Star Wars. Like, it's been 45 years. They can change some shit. You know, you'll be fine. You'll grow.
I wish they would. Well, not so much change stuff, but bring back some old stuff using.
Yeah.
Like, Sebastian Stan has a really good look like Luke Skywalker, so why not remake some stuff with him using a younger person just because Mark Hamill is older now? I wish they would.
Yeah. I
Could be
mean,
just to get new stuff on old original stuff.
yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things. I mean, it's just, you know, let's be real. If Star Wars was about it, you would start to recast Luke Skywalker, you know, and you would have
I
someone
wish they
new,
would.
you know. And again, is it going to suck for the people who are huge Star Wars fans? And
It would, because Star Wars has a very toxic community.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, here's the thing though, it's like, you change it, you make that first change. The only time people are gonna bitch is the first time. After that, people lap that shit up. You know, they'll be like, oh my god, we're getting a new Star Wars movie, and Luke Skywalker's the main character of this one. It's like, well, it's not Mark Hamill. It's like, okay, it hasn't been Mark. This will be the second movie without Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. No one cares. No one cares anymore. You know, that to me is just the thing that absolutely makes me angry with, like, movies, is people like lose their shit. They're like, oh, I didn't like the new James Bond because they're trying to introduce a new 007. It's like, what, did you think they were going to stop making the movies because Daniel Craig's not going to be James Bond? It's like, no,
Yeah.
they're going to change it. Like, that's what every smart business, that's what every...
I mean, I'll be honest, I was against it at first.
Well,
And then I watched the new one and thought it was incredible.
You know, I didn't think the new one was like the craziest, greatest movie ever, but I didn't think it was as bad as anyone made it seem to be. Like, the end part I thought was a little cheesy, but again, I understand why they made it the way they did. You know, I kind of thought they should have amped up the importance.
I think he's alive. If he's alive.
No, he's not. But they could.
They didn't show him actually die. They just showed the place getting blown up. He's alive.
Okay, well, it'd be very hard.
Agreed.
Okay, I'm glad both of
Please
you.
let me believe what I want to believe.
Yeah.
But my only
Otherwise,
thing
I'll never watch that movie again.
my only thing about it though is I wish they would have amped up the, like, importance of the moment. Like, they made it important, but it's fucking James Bond. This is the guy who's been James Bond, what, 4 times now? 5 times?
This was
I think
the
he's-
fifth movie.
Okay, I was gonna say, I think that's the second most to Sean Connery, right?
Yeah,
For
I
a
think
number
so.
of times. It's like, you amp up the importance. You know, you make the final scene. You make it where it's like James fucking Bond, Daniel Craig is James Bond, not just where he just stands there and unfortunately what happens. I'm not trying to ruin the movie for anyone who might not have seen it.
It's been out long enough, ruin it.
But okay, either way, they should have played into the fact that it's James Bond, Daniel Craig's last time being fucking James Bond. You know, like you play into it.
Well, he should make it out of there. Like he shouldn't. Like
well, but if he's not gonna make it out of there, you make it where it's like one last time you're like James fucking Bond. Like I never got that sense the whole movie where I was like, it's like, oh, it's James fucking Bond. Like at the end, I was just like, that's how they're gonna do James Bond.
I mean, it was so sad, but I get what you're saying in terms of like, the movie made it seem like it's just another action hero stopping missiles from doing anything else but hit the island. That's it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's the first time James.
It's
Bond's
not a James
ever
Bond
been killed.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like again, you know, the movie's been out for 50 to 60 years. This is a historic actor.
That came out last year.
No, I mean, but I'm saying the movies, James Bonds have been coming out since like 62. You know, it's like you should play into the whole thing. Like this is an important milestone for James Bond, the character, but B, the movie franchise itself. Play into it. Like no one cares. No one's gonna be like, oh my god, they did a whole bunch about it being like a legacy thing. It's like no one cares. People are gonna be like, damn, they did a good send off for Daniel Craig. You know?
Yeah.
Well, what should have happened is he should have got off the island and he should have came driving out on a boat, holding like the bear up. The James Bond music starts to play. Everyone in the theater gets hyped. Yeah, no one wants to see James Bond die. It's sad. Wait, you gonna tell me the greatest spy of all time? He's dead? Like, what is that? That's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's
he's not gonna lay the pipe anymore. What is this?
Yeah, I just, to me, it's just when I watch it, it's like I understand why they did it, but it's like it's James Bond. You should lay into it a little. You know, it's everything. It's you just
try to show like all the like the history and like everything James Bond is before he but they
you just ceremoniously put him out for pasture.
Yeah, they just kind of like starched him and then they just moved on. They pour one more glass of whiskey for him and let it sit on the table and they're like, oh, well, back to work.
Like, it's like, it's like, well, that sucks.
He saved the world like a million times and
it's just
well, we'll be fine without him. He's the guy who saved the world. How are you going to move on without him?
Yeah.
You're panicking. Like, oh my God, what the hell are we going to do? The world's over. We're like, there's no more James Bond to save. They have to get Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible over there to save the day now.
Oh, God.
Oh, Tom Cruise knew James Bond. Let's go. No, probably not. But
I think the guy from The Kingsman would do a good job.
Yeah. That'd be sweet.
He's the younger one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I wouldn't want him as it, though. Strictly because he's in The Kingsman.
Well, why couldn't you do both?
I think Tom Hiddleston would be great.
That wouldn't be a bad one. I would like to watch his new movie, not Spider-Man.
Spooderman.
Uncharted.
Oh. Yeah.
With Mark.
Oh. That's Tom Holland, though.
What'd you say?
Tom Hiddleston. The guy who plays Loki.
I thought you said Tom Holland. That's on me.
You guys are both.
I still don't like it.
I gotta ask, are you guys both caught up on Ozark?
I have been since the week season 3 came out.
You say no?
I've been on top of it for 2 years.
You say no?
Yeah,
Reno's not seen it.
I haven't even seen season 2.
Oh boy, you got 10 days. Get on it. It comes out.
Season 3's ending though, dang.
Oh,
incredible!
I'm so excited for.
I'll try to get on it so we can talk about it.
I watched all of Ozark this past week. I watched Mindhunter, which they need to put out season 3.
They're working on getting like a contract so they can do a season 3 in general.
Well, they should do 3 more.
It was canceled.
Well, no, it wasn't canceled. They were
not canceled, but something happened where they stopped.
Yeah, they just said that they were going to put an indefinite pause on it, but it's like you've already started so much of it. It's like at least finish the BTK stuff. That's interesting enough. It's like finish that at least. But I watched that, but I watched Ozark and I was like, well, I'll watch Ozark before it comes out, and it's only coming out in 10 days, so I'm pretty excited for season 4.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's going to be like Sopranos, though, where it's like part 1 and then part 2. So
Yeah, I'm okay with that. As long as
Yeah.
we get more Ozark.
Gotta be honest, boys. I think it's been a fantastic podcast, but I think we're almost over 2 hours now, probably.
yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about Indiana Jones. So
so we might have to start
wrapping
this bad boy up.
I agree.
Okay, bye.
Sounds incredible. I would say thank you to our 2 biggest fans out there, Dad and Mike. The only 2 that I know that watch it consistently and send us comments and react to what we're doing. Appreciate that our boys watch the show, and thank you. And that's it for me. You boys have anything you want to say?
Shout out to Luke for being the sponsor.
There we go. Z-Man, you got
Check
anybody?
them out. Phasermarketing.com. PHASERMARKETING.
I think that's all we got today.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Yep. See you. Let us know
Like,
about
comment,
Indiana
support.
Jones.
Yeah, let us know if Chris Pratt's the guy.
He's not.
I think
Peace
I'm
out.
right. Deuces.